Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 149 of Shatter The Vain. I'm Brad Chmielewski. Man, we got Bloodskies joining on this episode. Update 2.3 is here, and I needed someone that plays the game a lot to help me talk through some of these changes. And Bloodskies is streaming a ton. Everyone should be checking out his stream. Lots of fun community, kind of casual games with the viewers and stuff. So really good to support him and check him out. And he's a member of Ardent, and they're always doing fun stuff. Their challenger team didn't make it to the top three, but they did pretty well, and definitely a fun time watching them. So we dive into a little bit of that esports Vainglory 8 challenger scene, as well as the update 2.3 changes. And there was a lot of videos this week coming out from players and people like Fuji and this April Fool's thing. So we talk about those. Just a lot of content being made in the Vainglory community right now, which is very cool to see, from the podcast to the shows like Halcyon Report and Behind the Gamer Tag and things like that. So so much going on. Discord servers, like we mentioned last week, on the barracks. So yeah, very cool stuff. All right, let's do it. We should get into 149, but before we do, mention the Patreon page over at patreon.com/Shatter The Vain. If you can support the show, thank you. If not, you're supporting just by listening, and that is awesome. All right, here we go. Episode 149.
Shatter the Vain.
This is the 149th episode of Shatter the Vain. My name is Brad Chmielewski, and this is a podcast all about Vainglory. Every week, try to break down the news, gameplay, game tips, and bringing on people from the community, people that love this game, stream it, make videos, just supporting it full force. And this week, I have Bloodskies joining me. Welcome.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, good to have you here. You've been streaming quite a bit, and I recently had a conversation with someone about streaming, so it's good to have you here, and glad to be talking with you.
Thanks for having me here. It's good to be here as well.
So if people haven't checked out your streams or seen you, you want to introduce yourself, let them know who you are?
um, I mean, I can give out my name. My name is Victor. I'm more of a casual streamer, I would say.
Okay.
No, I don't really go for I try to go more for ranked, but at the same time, I just try to go for play with viewers more as well. So I just mix in between both of them.
Okay.
On my stream there.
No, that's great. I feel like the pro players, there's only a few of them that really stream because they're busy practicing, and I think the casual streams are a little more entertaining a lot of the time. The pro players end up trying to maybe try too hard, and they're less engaged with the chat sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, there are times where I feel like with the pros and more players who rank are the ones who try hard the most. My stream, I just I try hard sometimes. There are times where I just joke around here and there. There are times where I want to troll and stuff like that, but then it doesn't fit in. So I'm just oh, I'm not gonna do that. So
yeah, there are games where you're oh, but then I'm streaming or making a video. You're I don't want that. I don't want people to think that of me, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Cool. So how'd you get into Vainglory? Was this the first game you're streaming now, and kind of kicked off this whole thing?
Well, I was I did stream on and off before, but it was in I would stream on for a week and then go on from there. It was just I would stream one game of League, and then just be all right, I'm done.
Okay.
But I started out playing MOBAs in 2009 when I graduated from high school. I was playing League of Legends. My friend introduced me to it, and he was oh, you should try this game out, blah blah blah. I'm oh, okay, I'll try it out. And then that's when I was getting hooked onto it because I used to play more MMOs instead of MOBAs,
Okay.
and I was yeah, League was my first game, and that's how I got into the watching the esports scene because of League of Legends and StarCraft. Those were the two main games I would play.
Okay.
And then around 2015 is when I stopped playing because I was like, okay, I can't play this game anymore. It's like,
Playing League or also start both of them, StarCraft and
well,
League.
StarCraft I ended like a while ago, like
Okay.
before League of Legends, because I got up to silver, close to gold division
Oh,
in
yeah.
StarCraft.
Okay.
Because my friend was teaching me, he was coaching me basically, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, I'll try it out. But then after that, I just fell off from that and just kept on playing League.
Man, I've
Um,
seen people
but
play
then
StarCraft, and that game is intense. Like, I don't know. I don't think I could micromanage that
um
much stuff.
yeah, it was really tough to play because a lot of you have to know build orders, you have to know the mac, you have to know what you have to know macroing your units and microing them as well,
Yeah.
and then um just like to like think what the opponent's doing. Like they can rush you at any time if you don't block out your ramp, or they could just be doing something else at, in the match that you don't even know. They could be like proxying you or something like that. And so it was like it's intense matchups the whole entire time. I was confused half the time. I was like, what do I do? Oh no! I'm like, so they could be like, if it was a Protoss, they could do like a three I think it was like 3 warp gate rush.
Okay.
So that what they would do is like they would just plant a pylon right outside your base, and if there's like a small edge, they could just warp in units and then just rush you in the base. And if you don't have vision, you're screwed.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I
I've
was like,
played
okay,
StarCraft 1, so I think I've never played 2. I've only watched it. And
I see. I mean, I played StarCraft 1 a couple of times, like Brood War. Not as much though. I just played it like at a local uh PC like cafe at like where I used to live in a different part of New Jersey.
okay.
But then I just got into more shooters. So it was like a mixed genre of games I was playing when I was growing up. So it was like fighters, shooters, MOBAs.
Hmm.
It was crazy.
And then
Um,
so once you left League, like what struck about Vainglory, or how'd you even come across it?
what struck? Oh, I was at PAX East 2015.
Okay.
It was my first time going. Uh, I think it was the end of the first day. I was like, oh, I want to try out. I want to see what's going on in the Twitch booth. And I see people were playing on their iPads. I'm like, okay, this is new. And then I was like,
Hmm.
wait a minute. I look up into the screen and I was like, I remember this commercial, like this game and the commercial. The first commercial that came up was I think I
The
saw it on
Jimmy
TV.
Fallon,
Yes, it was that
Timberlake
one.
ones. Okay.
Yeah, it was the Jimmy Fallon, Justin Timberlake one, and I just
Yeah.
saw him playing Vainglory, and I was like, "What, dude? A MOBA on a mobile device? I want to try it out." But then it was like, "Oh, it's only on iOS on Apple devices," and I was like, "Man, I can't play it." And then that same
Yeah.
day, I think it was Captain Nito that was shoutcasting it, or one of the two. I don't know if it was Captain Nito or because I didn't know anyone. I didn't know
Yeah.
anyone that was up there. I was like, "Oh, whoa, this is new. This is
Yeah. It
confusing."
might have been Playoff Beer. At that. I
It
don't
might
know
have
if.
been both actually, but
Yeah.
I think they had Captain Nito come up and talk about it, and that's when they announced the Android beta. And
Oh, nice.
I was like, I gotta sign up for it. I'm signing up. I'm signing up immediately. They were like, oh yeah, it came up just now. I was like, okay, I'm searching it right now. And then I searched it up. I instantly filled it out because I used to play Ingress before, and that was like the main game I used to play a lot.
Okay.
That was like my first mobile game that I was hooked onto as well. And then when they announced the Vainglory game, I was like, I gotta sign up. Let me do this. And I remember I got invited to the Google Plus Hangout that they
Uh
had.
huh.
So like that's where you can put like your feedback and see what's going on, see if the game's functioning well on Android. And so I was like, oh shoot, yeah, sure. I'll test it out. And then ever since then, I was like playing a match, like at least maybe 3 or 4, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna come back to this. I probably took like a week break from the game, and then I came back to it, and I was like, oh my god, what was I doing? I should have kept on playing.
What
But
were the early days of the Android like? I haven't being an iOS user, most of the people I know been playing on iOS.
um,
Did it feel stable and kind of on par with where it is now, or was it
it felt really
kind of
stable. At the time,
okay?
I had a OnePlus 1 phone, so it was like they were trying to call it the flagship killer phone, basically. And then that phone had I forgot, everything was like a Snapdragon 810 processor. I don't remember which one it was.
Okay.
It felt fluent. Like the gameplay was perfect, no lag. Like I was just like, whoa, these graphics are insane on my phone. But then when I started playing more and more of the game, I was just like, I can't play on my phone. I can't play with thumbs. It's too
Yeah.
hard.
Okay.
So I was like playing. I was playing. I think my first character was Koshka. I was
Nice.
playing her, and I was like, what in the world am I doing? And like then team fights happen. I'm like, oh, what is going on? And I'm like, I can't play this. I can't play on my phone. I need to switch to a tablet. And then that's when I decided like, okay, I need to switch to a tablet. I need to get a tablet that works for me, that helps me out. And I got
Yeah.
my first tablet was the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro,
Okay.
and I had that for like about a year and a half. So the whole entire time that I was playing Vainglory, I was playing on my tablet, that one tablet.
Nice. Okay.
And then the first guild I got into was Alto Guild.
Oh, okay.
It was a
I don't think I
random
remember
guild
them.
that I just
Yeah.
found in the forums, and I was like, "Hey, can I join your guild?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, sweet." And then remember it was I think it was the summertime uh when I was out of college for a semester.
Okay.
I was like just looking through the forums, watching. I was always watching Twitch. That was like my main platform for stream watching.
Okay.
And I would
So you're
just
watching
rewatch. Hmm?
Vainglory and other games.
Yeah. So I would usually stay up late. Uh, the first streamer I actually watched was, I believe, Waddy X.
Oh,
He
cool.
was the
Okay.
first one that I would watch, and then from there I saw like Lady Wabish, and then Genobi, and I was like, whoa, these guys! I've seen them at PAX East. I remember them. And then I would usually just lurk on the streams, and I would just like not say anything.
Hmm.
Sometimes I would be like, hey, what's up, guys, and just
That's pretty much what I do on stream. I'm there just to either watch or listen to the music. I don't usually
yeah, it's
chat.
like the same exact thing. The same exact thing I would do. It's like I'll just like chill, and if they'll be like, hey, if they ask like, hey, does anyone want to play? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I'll play.
Hmm.
And then from there, I get to know them. I remember, I don't know if it was Discord at the time that they had. No, it was we were using
Probably a
Line,
team speak or line.
the
Yeah.
Line
Okay.
chat app on mobile devices. So I would just chat with the people there instead.
Nice.
Um, and then that's how I got to meet a lot of like cool people from the community. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like I didn't expect to meet anyone really.
Right. Yeah. You're just looking like people play this game. You find out quickly that it's a big community of people that just love the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I even till sorry, till this day, I actually like this game. I really love this game. Um, I mean, there are times where like I get frustrated because of the game. Like, what did I do wrong? Oh, and then
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
but it's all my fault. It's like it's all player experience, like how you play the game, not the game's
Hmm.
fault.
Yeah, I get frustrated when I want to go to bed and I'm like, I just want to win one. Just come on, just like I'm
Exactly.
tired.
So it's like, what can you do?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. So then you got into Ardent. So you were watching Wadi and Shinobi, and like
Oh,
how'd Ardent come on board? Because you're
well,
a member of Ardent now.
yeah, I've been a member of Ardent for like about two and a half, no, 1.5 years now, I believe.
Okay.
Ever since because I remember when I first got in, Flash was still like he was still part of the count. They're like
Yeah, because it was
part of
him
their
and
head team.
Brizzle McFizzle kind of
Yeah,
started Ardent
yeah,
at
they
the
were part
beginning.
of they were like the head honchos basically. So I was like, oh hey, I get to meet uh the people of Ardent because like at first I was in Arum Guild with Chunky Pretzel and
Okay.
Nikki Tsunami, I believe, at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I got to meet them and everything. But then at the same time, I was like, I looked into Ardent and I was like, I really want to join Ardent. I don't know why. I mean, like at first I was like, I like how the guild is. It's like very friendly. They were, you know, very well spoken. They know what they're
Hmm.
doing and stuff like that. So I was like, I really want to join them. And then who did I reach out to? I believe I played a game with PT Power Thirst,
Okay. Yeah,
Mr.
that's
Power
right.
Thirst. Yeah, and then I played a couple of games with him, and he's like, "Hey man, I believe you're Ardent material," and I was like, "What really?" And he's like, "Yeah, you don't rage, you're not salty after you lose or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, sure. What can I do to like reach out to someone about it?" He's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, um, contact." I believe that he told me to contact Flash.
Okay.
And I was like, "Hey, Flash, I want to join Ardent. Is there any like specific things I need to do?" He's like, "Oh, well, you have to do this, you have to do that, and then just get to know more of the Ardent members. You know, try to like get to know them more and stuff like that." I was like, "Okay, I'll do that." And then I believe I was talking to Power Thirst. I was talking to Praise, and I got to
Yeah.
know more of them, Praise and Havoc. Uh, I believe through Wadi stream. So I would just chill with Wadi and his Discord, talk to all the people that he was talking to. And then I believe I submitted once. And I
Okay.
believe I was denied because it was
Oh,
like
damn. That
and
sucks.
not. I mean, I waited because I really wanted to get in, and I was like, you know what, I'll wait. Try to get to know more people, and then that's when then the second time they're like, he was like, yeah, just try out again. And I'm like, all right, yeah, try it out again. And I was like, you know what? They were like, okay, you know what? You're in. And I was like, really? It's like, yeah. I was like, yes. And it was like, it was me and
Nice.
Artemis. Well,
Okay.
she was known as Queen Blenda at first, and
Oh,
then
right.
and then she switched her name. She changed her name to Artemis. Me and her and Slow Mo Johnson. Yeah, actually, it was three of us that got in at almost around the same time.
Oh, is Slow-Mo still around? Like, I haven't
I
seen
mean,
that name pop up
well,
in a while.
me and Queen Blenda got in at the same time. Slow Mo came in like I think like a week or 2 weeks later.
Okay.
I don't remember for sure how this is how it went basically, but we all got in at the same time. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Um.
There's so many names in Ardent that people, if you're familiar with the Vainglory community at all, you're like, oh yeah, I know them. I've seen them around. I recognize that name. It's really cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool getting to know them, and it's still cool to this day that I'm like really good friends with them. Like
Hmm.
with like Flash, Brizzle. I actually got to meet Brizzle and Lady Wabish when they were here in New York for the very first like land meetup they had.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, this is pretty awesome.
That's
Yeah.
cool. So, what's interesting about Ardent is it kind of has a little different vibe. We saw these new orgs come into Vainglory, the big guys in the Vainglory 8, and Ardent didn't get a spot, but they did have a team in the Challenger set. So it's almost like they're building, or you guys have this like community, more of a social guild. Like Nikki's doing a really good job with like partnerships and building that name, and not so much like we're gonna be the best esports org. Is that kind of the thought, or is that just my
Um,
perspective from the outside?
at this moment, I believe we're working on both basically. Like I
Okay.
know Nikki wanted to try to find a team for VIS so that we can actually try to climb up the ladder to at least get into V8 Vainglory 8. Um, but at the same time, we're actually working on building our stream team as well. So like to get our name out there, to get all the people who are in Ardent who are streaming, you know, get known, get like the partnerships they need, and maybe get like different things going for them as well. So
Okay.
we're like it's both working half and half basically. Yeah, that's
Okay,
what's
cool.
happening.
Cause yeah, I love the uh like community like stream team kind of thing that Arden has going on, and I really want to see some of the other guilds do that because we've seen other games that have like Hearthstone streamers. They may not be the pro streamers, but they're
Oh, so
on these orgs. But like the Ardent, I guess, tag on Twitch kind of carries, I think, a little bit more weight and reminds people that Ardent hasn't gone anywhere.
well, I would say it's
'Cause-
like we're working on it. It's like
mhm,
like it's pretty like a slow pace, I would say.
yeah.
So like with the Ardent Gaming official channel, we're just like slowly working up with uh just with the community itself. We just uh play games with them as well as I mean, like like try to interact more with the community, more
Yeah.
with the casual side, sort of in a way. Yeah, so it's not so bad. It's getting there.
Yeah.
Um,
No, but I hope some of the other orgs like
oh no,
Stars and TSM kind of build these community streamers that maybe help push the, I want to say, brand forward more, because the esports, uh, there's only so many people that like care and want to know what's happening in the esports scene. There's a lot more people like just like hanging out on your stream that want to just have fun and play the game.
yeah,
So,
I agree with that.
mhm.
I mean, hopefully, eventually, maybe, um, with like you said, with the different organizations, they just recognizes the various streamers that are streaming Vainglory, and just like maybe like for me, in my perspective, I wish they would like pick one person,
Okay.
something like that or something,
Cool.
and just like
Um, oh, good.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely gonna include a link. We'll include a link in the show notes and the description here. Like everyone should be checking out your stream. You're streaming like quite a bit too, right?
Yeah, it is.
So that's awesome. But there was a lot of news this week, so we should jump into that and talk some more Vainglory and see how update 2.3 is going.
Vainglory News.
So update 2.3 got released this week. It was a pretty massive update with a lot of changes. Have you been digging it so far?
Well, so far, yeah. Like, um, the weapon power changes for the game, like, I don't know. A lot of people are complaining about it. I feel like it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
So
it's perfectly fine. I would say it's a little bit more balanced. Like, it just takes time. I believe like the amount of people who aren't putting time and effort into like just learning the new way of like stutter stepping or anything like that is just it's probably hindering their like skills because they're already used to the previous way of
yeah.
stutter stepping. So like right now for them, it's just like they're like, oh no, I'm not understanding what's going on, and it's like kind of like messing around with their play style. So that's probably like why they're like there's a lot of
Mhm.
complaints about it.
Yeah. So this the tax speed change. I'll quickly mention it here what it is. So they've simplified a lot of the bonus attack speed stats that came from the items. So these changes were
Mhm.
all made possible by removing this long-standing like 0.1 second delay that was added with each attack. Um, so attack speed items will now be more dramatically increase the hero's attacks, and therefore some abilities and items had to be nerfed. So this is a kind of a confusing thing, but It actually is very confusing, I think, for someone that's not
It is
super
confusing
into
at
the
first.
numbers.
Sorry.
Yeah. uh, but for the most part, it didn't change that much. It,
I don't
like you said, I think it changed how you play a little bit, and you got to get used to that. But
pretty much, yeah.
as as far as how the game works and everything, most people aren't going to see that big of a difference here.
Yeah.
I know I've been trying out a lot of different items to see them and see what's kind of working and see if
Mhm.
there's like different paths that might be more efficient. And that's kind of where I've been in the first week of update 2.3 is like, well, let's see if, Bonesaw is a little better now if I got that instead of this item, or the Poison Shiv changes where they kind of buffed that item up. So it's kind of interesting to see, is that working a little more? And in some cases, yes. In some cases, no, it's not at all.
I mean, for Bonesaw, like it did get like its armor pierced up, and then but I feel like because of the armor shed, maybe not a lot of people are buying it. But I have yet to see um any jungler or weapon junglers or weapon laners buy
Hmm.
it. They're still mostly buying Breaking Point and they're actually buying Breaking Point, Monocle, Tyrant's Monocle, and um, Tornado Trigger.
Right. Okay.
And I see them
That's
build that more often compared to just the regular um, Breaking Point Monocle or like Breaking Point Bonesaw or something.
yeah. Yeah. It's do you feel like the tornado trigger is a better item now, or is it
I
just kind of
believe
people?
I can say it probably is. I'm not
Uh huh.
sure exactly. Like I think for a fact that a lot of weapon laners are buying that item
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
Um, as a weapon jungler, I see it like a couple of times. I don't see it as
Okay.
often
Yeah.
because they
The
usually go
first
for. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the first week of any update is just always chaos. It feels like people trying things and just I want to say like having it's like the last week of an update where people just like super goof off and troll, and then the first week of the updates are like new builds. Let's try this hero in this position and just see what could work, and let's build this item, and yeah.
Yeah, I could. I believe that happens to like it happens in most updates for Vainglory. Like a lot of people want to like. I mean, if something huge like, um, I remember there was one update where I think it was like a change to the CP. Uh, Usually like people would build Broken Myth because it was
Yeah.
like super like the stacks were super low and the damage like was high, so that's why they would buy it. But since they changed it, everyone was like, you know what, we'll try it as like a third item, like as the last item, and see how it
Hmm.
goes. So it was usually like the first or second item on a CP uh laner or no, on a CP, yeah, CP laner or CP jungler, and they would just get that first, and it's like, yeah, we'll try this item out first, and then now it's like, oh no, we'll get it third.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because in this patch, everyone's been saying that CP carries will come back. I have yet to see any CP carries at all.
Yeah, I
Like,
think I saw a Samuel today when I was playing, and that was the first time I've seen a CP laner this week.
and I only saw it once too, and I was like, really, that's all? And I'm like, huh? Because people are saying that from all the players I usually talk to when they talk about when they lane, they say like weapon power still is the same. They feel like there's a slight change, but it's just
Hmm.
still perfectly fine for them.
Yeah, like it didn't change enough to really impact things.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's kind of been what I've been seeing, and maybe it'll change as just the meta shifts around a little bit over the next month of update 2.3. But you never
Yeah,
know what someone may pull out. Like we saw the rise of Crystal Fortress again. Like that
oh,
didn't people didn't see that
I
coming.
I didn't see it coming either until like I believe in the middle of last patch. I was hearing that CP Fortress actually came back, and I was like, wait, what do you mean? And then I've seen a couple of players play it, and I was like, no way. I was like, Fortress is back, and like, wow.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
all due
cool.
to like the cooldowns on uh when you get Stormcrown Aftershock.
Yeah,
Plus, the damage from Stormcrown allows you to clear the jungle
jungle
faster.
real fast. Yeah.
Plus, it gives you a bit of true damage. I remember. Could have sworn. I don't know if I could
Yeah,
be
no, it
right.
still does true damage. I think we're gonna see Stormcrown get nerfed at some point here, as I've been seeing laners build it. Like basically everyone is just almost building it now. Like
Yeah,
it's
I've seen it like a lot of like it could be like two uh Stormcrowns on one team, like
yeah.
the support and the jungler are buying it. And I'm like, really? Whoa, what the heck is going on? And everyone is buying Stormcrown. So I feel like sooner or later they're gonna nerf it or
Mhm.
somehow tweak it so it doesn't like become like
Well,
OP.
yeah, because it offers a lot. You get health, you get cooldown, you get true damage, you mow through objectives, and so that's yeah. If you yeah, if you need to have a little defense, like I feel like oh I'll get a storm crown and then I got some health and yeah, and now I just like kill stuff real fast too. So this is good.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's still gonna be an interesting update. I feel like right now since I'm in tier 9, I see a lot of Fortress getting banned.
Okay.
So it's either you ban a Fortress and they ban a healer, you pick the healer, or they ban Fortress, or they ban the two healers, and then one of you picks a Fortress now.
Yeah.
So it's like no matter what's gonna happen, you're gonna run into a Fortress
Okay. In some way.
in some way, shape, or form. Yeah.
Mhm. So then update 2.3 also had these charms and taunts. Uh, these are like cute and neat. I like them, but then they also just make me so upset. Being when someone is spamming them on the other side of the team, and you hear the voices every 35 to 40 seconds, because I believe that's the cooldown of it. Whew, I need a way to mute the other team. I don't know if you've run into that or had any experience with the charms or taunts so far.
Um, most of my matches I have like I've seen in team fights or like when someone's like trying to start a team fight, I just see like the enemy starting to do one of their taunts or charms,
Hmm.
and I don't know. For me, like coming from League of Legends, I see that a lot too, and I'm just like, it just like gets me like sort of angry or like kind of mad,
Right?
and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, and I don't know why. I guess it's like it's basically they're trying to have you say like, you come at me, this is gonna happen, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, I really don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up this team
Yeah.
fight. And then even at the end, if they win, they still taunt too, and I'm like, oh, why do you do
Yeah,
this to me?
yeah. I don't. I feel like maybe we're seeing a lot of them because it's the first week, and maybe people kind of not use them as much. But I think some sort of mute system is going to be needed. Like you can mute all chat in every other MOBA. I think I tweeted this out, and you should be able to mute the charms on the other side. Like it's
I was
basically an all chat.
I was thinking about that too. I was thinking that they should allow you to not only mute the person who's like pinging, but as well as like mute uh the charms as well.
Hmm. Yeah.
So like it doesn't really like because like for some people it actually impacts your gameplay. So like if you're getting taunted by someone, something's gonna go like in your head you're like, I really hate this guy who's doing this right now, and it's just like, why are you doing this to me? And then it's just like, I don't know. For some people, it triggers them,
Hmm.
as they say, they're like, stand, I can't stand it. But others, it's just like, it's a thing. It's a feature in the game.
Right.
Can't really do much about it. So it's like half and half. It's like, okay. It's like the other half is like, no, I want this muted or something. I go for the muted part, especially in a ranked match. I'm focused. I don't want to see like like the kissy emoji come out of nowhere from like the enemy team, and I'm like man, really?
Yeah, I think I get also because it's the sound is global. You assume that maybe the hero is closer than they are, so I think it changes how you play a little bit too. So,
That's true. Because you oh you, if you hear like the global like someone who's doing the charm and he's like it's global, you can it's like basically saying like it's you're like oh where is he what's going
right,
on, and one wrong move can just like you know
really mess you up. Yeah.
yeah exactly.
Oh. So another thing in 2.3 was the reorder of the items. I This is awesome change, but I keep forgetting that it's there. I haven't because it's a new feature. I just haven't used it enough, and then when I do, I'm like, oh yeah, that's sweet. Uh, have you been using this a lot? I feel like supports and captains like this is a huge bonus.
I've used it because I do play the captain role sometimes in
Hmm.
matches. I technically would use it, not as much, but like before, like when I have like everything already like full, like if I already have my fountain, Atlas, War Treads, and like Crucible, I would just like mix it. I would just like find which one is like the first one because I'm like already used to that first button on the right. For me, it's like on the right of the screen, so I'll just
Yeah.
like I'll have it right there. I'll be like, all right, it's right there. I'm gonna press it. It's gonna go fine. And I mess up, and I'm like, oh my god, how did I mess it up? But for me, like I got used to it, and I was like, all right, this is where I'm gonna put it, and this is where I'm gonna leave it. I have to remember
Hmm.
where it is. So
Okay.
in a way, it did help me, like remember where my items were and stuff. So
Nice.
when
Yeah.
I reordered it, yeah,
It'll probably become one of these features where once we've had it for a couple updates, it's great, but right now it's like the new thing, kind of like camera shift. It's cool when you use it, but I also don't use it enough, so I forget. So I think the reorder items may be the same way as if you use them enough, they become like awesome tools for you. But yeah, you just got it's kind of yeah. Whenever you add new things like this, it just
Mm.
re- reminds you like, oh, I have to use that. Don't forget.
Yeah. I remember. I think it's a really good. I think it's a really good feature. Most likely for definitely for the captain rules, and it like allows you to like switch it up a bit. So instead of like having it where the used to be, you can move it so closer to like where your abilities are.
Hmm.
So from there, it's like let's say your fountain was like on the other side, next to like the edge of your like home button and stuff, depending on your tablet or phone. You want to move it like if you want to move it to like closer to like the abilities, it's like I'd say it would be easier for the person or for the roamer.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, captain.
Yeah.
I'm used to the different the change from roam to captain. So I was like, oh no, which one do I take? But yeah, no, it's I think it's a really good uh addition to the game.
Yeah, nice. And then we saw pretty four skins. I said we were missing a skin in update in episode 148, and we got it delivered. We got this new cruel skin that Vainglory released. It's a legendary skin, and it's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
awesome. Did you have you picked it up yet? Did you open chests and pick it up?
No, I haven't picked it up yet. I was thinking about opening chests for it, but then I was like, no, because some people were like hinting or saying, not hinting, but they were saying, oh, that there's gonna be a cruel chest coming out soon or something like that, or like the cruel skin chest.
Yeah.
So they were saying like that's gonna come out soon, and I was like, I think I might as well just wait for that and
Yeah,
just
I ended up opening some chests because I wanted to make a video to post this skin. So I opened up a few chests to get it. Uh, but yeah, there is I guess the skin's gonna be available from mystery chests until April 19th. Uh, the current odds are pretty low of you getting it from these. Uh,
they are.
yeah. uh, but then I think starting April 2nd, there's going to be a 1 in 20 chance of dropping in special Cruel mystery chest, where all the legendary skins are replaced with this Cruel skin. So 1 in 20, that's not bad after April 2nd. So you have a much better chance of picking up the skin after April 2nd.
That's true. Yeah, it gives you a better chance to get the skin. I mean, I really want to get the skin because it looks really cool, especially when he like dashes. He's like in some sort of like ghost form, and I was like, oh my god, I want to get this.
Yeah, it's really cool. But then you could just, if you don't want to like run the chance and not bother, after April 19th, you can pick up the skin for 3,599 ice. So fairly expensive, but it is a legendary skin. So, so yeah, kind of running this event, I think they were gonna kind of surprise people starting April 2nd, but the skin got put into the game right away, and people saw it and got super excited. So they had to let people know how they could get it. So that's this. So check out the patch notes for update 2.3. Lots of changes in this. Lots of, I guess, quality of life changes. It's really nice. Moving on the news, the NA or the Challenger split kind of came to an end this week, both on the EU and NA side, and we saw the 3 teams that emerged from there. We got One Piece, Liberation X, and Necrolat. These teams are looking fantastic. One Piece 101 has Lost Boy Toph on it, and they took first place. I don't know, do you watch much esports, or were you watching any of these?
I usually watch Vainglory 8, but I do watch a couple of times. I did watch a couple of times the NA Challenger teams, and I was like, I did not expect like I did not expect like it to go down like this, because I usually thought I actually thought NRG was actually going to be top 3.
That's what I thought, yeah.
But then when I saw that they got knocked out, I was like, what in the world is going on? Like, this is insane. And then you see One Piece with Lost Boy Toph, Polly, Monkey D. Luffy, and Selena Gomez. Like, Selena Gomez is a really, really good laner. Like, I've seen him on Xenotech stream. I've seen him in a couple of streams when he's playing, and I'm just like, oh my god, this guy is insane. Like he should get picked up by a team or something.
Yeah.
And now since he's in One Piece with Toph, like a really good roamer, like I would say one of the top roamers in NA, and Monkey, who's pretty good as well. I barely see him play more compared to Selena Gomez, but he's pretty good too. Like, those 3 together are really good. And then Polly too. Polly was in Ardent, and then he was doing well in our team as well. So I was like, wow, these guys are a team to look forward to, as well as Liberation X. Like, Liberation X, I did not expect. I wouldn't say I did not expect. Sorry, I said I mean I expected them to be at least top 3, because they're really good. Their synergy isn't like ridiculous. Like, compared to any team I've seen in Challenger series, like their team is up there, and I believe they can get a spot in the Vainglory 8.
Yeah, they just, like you said, their center chi. It seems like because they've played together and known each other in the community for so long, they're just, they're just good. That's the only way to say it.
Yeah, they're good. That's that's the one word that like comes up for their team.
But yeah, they're gonna face. I know Equifox and Misfits are on the bottom of the Vainglory 8 on our side. I forget the 3rd team at the moment. But yeah, I think any of these teams have a chance to kind of get in there. I think Equifox, I'm still rooting for them. I think they can still pull it off. I think a lot of the times, from a Challenger team to a Vainglory 8 team, it is a totally different world and experience, and it's often surprising just what the skill level is between the 2.
it's it's very different to see. Yeah, like Challenger Series is like more of the people you see in the ranked matches and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You they do run into the people who are in Vainglory 8 right now, but it's just you see once you see people in Vainglory 8, it's a whole nother like level. So like for the challenger teams that are going against Vainglory 8 teams, they should like really study the up on those three teams.
Yeah,
I
and they
think
have a ton of footage, so they have the advantage, really.
yeah, and if I mean if they don't do that, then you know they're really messing up. It's on their on you know their fault basically for doing that. But they really should like look up on those videos and see how they play and see what character they pick and everything like that.
Yeah, I gotta get Lost Boy Toff and his One Piece team here on the podcast to kind of hear their story. I kind of want to know. I want to know everything that happened with Cloud9 and why him and Hardik aren't on a team. There's a lot of stuff that's could be good stuff to hear. Good stories, I think.
Yeah, that'd be that'd be pretty interesting to hear what he has to say about what happened to Cloud9.
Yeah. So the challenger battles are going to happen next week on update 2.3. So get ready for those. It should be really exciting to see if the split 2 is going to shake up and be totally different. So keep an eye out for that. Then there was a new API website that was released this week. The list of Vainglory API websites is growing massively. There's Vainrain, there's VG Miner, there's uh, Vain Pro, there's Vain.gg, and now this new one, mastervainglory.com. A lot of the same stuff you're seeing in the other API websites, but a neat feature that they have is they have a leaderboard on there that kind of shows where you are in the region, but it's only based off the players that have checked their stats on Master Vainglory so far. So it's not a good indication of like how good you are. It's just based off of that website. But it's cool if more people start checking it and using the site. You could get a really good idea of what your rank is, you know, in North America or in EU or SA. Kind of know like I'm the 120th best player in this region. It's kind of fun to see.
I think this is a pretty good website. Willie Willie and Mango, 'cause I'm looking at the site right now too, and I feel like those two are really like basically in Invincible Armada is this #1 team. Like
Yeah.
you can already tell it's like right there. It's like you can agree. Like they're really good players. They're really good. It's just to like see how everything is changing right now for Vainglory with these API sites. It's actually showing all the stats that you on your previous matches and everything. And I think it's a
Yeah.
pretty good idea that they actually came out with this for the players so they can track on
Yeah, and it
all the characters
continues
they
to
played and
grow.
everything.
I'm looking forward to someone to do an app. I know these are all on the website, but making sure they're mobile friendly because it is a mobile game. But if you could have something, I know a lot of the devices can kind of do the split screen. If you could have something up and quickly, like in the loading screen, check, like I know people do this in League all the time, like, oh, what rank is my teammates or my enemies, and kind of quickly check that. That's going to be
But
interesting too.
I feel like with that, like with this idea, with seeing the like the characters and stuff, like the person that you're playing against,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of like gives the person a different mindset of the player, especially if
Yeah,
you're solo queuing. So it kind of like has its pros and cons, you know. A
yeah.
lot of people are gonna be like looking it up, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, this guy is pretty bad at the game. Look at his stats and everything." It's like so like right there and then it just tells you like, okay, so we're just gonna be basing off of the stats that's been going on.
Yeah, I guess. But to know, oh, hey, this guy on my team's lost 10 times in a row here. I think he's not in the right mindset. Maybe I don't want to play with him.
Yeah, but then it's true. It means that sure you don't want to play with them, But also encourages some people to dodge the game as well. I've seen.
Yeah.
So it's just like I've seen sometimes when they look up the person's name, they're like, "Oh no, I'm not playing this person," and they dodge, and I'm like, "What? Like, don't do that! Like, what are you doing? Like, just accept. If you
Accept the
have a good
fate.
draft,
Yeah.
yeah, accept the fate. Either win or lose, or just you know have this whole time saying like to yourself like, "Oh my God, we're gonna lose," blah 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 blah, because of this one person. It can always turn around if something like it all depends on the enemy team.
True.
So you just got to keep that mindset like, hey, I'm gonna go and turn it around somehow or some way, and then from there.
Yeah.
But I think the sites itself, there's a lot of them though. There's
Yeah, I
and I
think you're gonna find a favorite that you like and kind of stick with it. It's just like anything. Like one of these is gonna rise, kind of be the best. But
I
it's
think
cool
my
to see. What's your favorite?
I think my favorite is Vainglory Pro. I feel
Okay.
like that one's like it has the heat tracker.
Okay.
It's saying like what I mean. It's like
Yeah, you kind of see what happened. That yeah.
where the fight actually happened most of the time and where each character was most of the fights.
Hmm.
So that was pretty cool. And then the build orders from like the moment you leave the base to like the end of the game and how you build the item throughout the game. It's like, oh, that's pretty interesting too.
Yeah. Oh,
I really like that feature from Vainglory Pro. I mean
yeah.
VG Pro.
But check out this new one, mastervainglory.com, if you're looking to give another one a try. Then this being April Fool's weekend, Vainglory released a video that was pretty easy to see. It was an April Fool's joke, but it was a video about how you can now track your character with your eye movement. Um, did you watch this video? Captain Nito like went out there, kind of talked about like we've now the pinnacle of blah blah blah. Yeah.
Oh, the yeah, I when I first checked it out, I was like, is this real? And then I was like, wait a minute. I looked at the date, I was like, no, no, this is April Fool's. What am I doing? They did
Yeah.
this last year with
Corpus.
no, that was the year before.
Oh,
Last year
that was the first. Yeah.
yeah, last year was
Oh yeah. What was
I
last
forgot what
year?
it was. I really forgot. And I saw it just not like a few hours ago and I don't remember what it was. But I thought it was a pretty interesting concept though. Like imagine motion sensor like um just like
For your
technology
eyes.
for your eyes
Yeah.
only, like yeah, just motion sensor technology for a MOBA. I mean, sure, it will strain your eyes. Like the moment the moment you do like
don't blink.
it's like don't blink. If you blink, you lose. It's like I I don't know. I just think I think it was a really interesting, funny concept that they made up.
Yeah. So check out the video. It's silly and it's fun. If you're just, yeah, check it out. I need to see them kind of getting involved with the April Fool's jokes, and I'm sure the Corpus joke will come back at some point too. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Maybe in a future April Fool's. Then the last bit of news I want to mention is another video. This was a video that Fuji put out. I think it was last weekend or Monday, and it was about his thoughts on the casters and analysts on the desk. I believe he recorded this before Humanist stepped away from the desk because he wanted to go back to just doing more casting. So this video had nothing to do with Humanist's decision, and it was not an attack on anybody, but it was just a really good breakdown from somebody who, one, has played the game at the pro level, is now a coach, and has been on the analyst desk. Very well thought out opinions on it. He wasn't trying to attack anyone or say anyone was doing a bad job. He was almost offering more suggestions than anything. Just I know as someone who watches Vainglory 8, watches the casters, you do have opinions about them sometimes, but I I can't go out there and talk that intelligently about the game. Like even recording videos, I'm sure on stream yourself, you mess up characters' names or abilities all the time because you're talking and you forget like, oh yeah, Vox is on my team, not their team. They got yeah, things like that happen.
That's
Uh,
true.
did you check out Fuji's video at all or?
I did. I really like sat through and watched it because I mean I really enjoy the casting and the analyst desks uh when it comes up for the VA and the VIS league.
Hmm.
Um, he does really have really interesting points. Like if they're really like talking about a player, I mean the player just needs to like understand like what they're saying shouldn't hurt them.
Yeah.
It should more they should like, oh, okay, I understand what he's talking about, because like what he's saying that some of the players are most like the moment something comes up, they attack them on Twitter and everything or any social media, and it's like, you know don't go for that route. You know what I mean? It's like, hear the caster out or hear what they have to say. I mean, sure, they did go a little bit overboard, but you gotta have some like I mean, you gotta have a little bit of like sort of like trash talk in a way, but not like
Yeah.
the bad trash talk. It's just like, you gotta like have some sort of like fire to the casting. So I have a feeling like they did well, but like some of them were a little bit too overboard.
Yeah, it's got to be interesting. You have to enjoy watching it. Like, if they weren't there, they would just go back to playing the music like they used to do. And I think the first season of the Evil Eight, like when the game ended, they played music, and you waited till the next game started. Like
Yeah.
it was not interesting. I'd rather have someone up there talking, getting us just hyped for the next match, like than just
And
straight music
I'm
playing.
sorry, another part where the players are like trying to be like analysts and everything like that. It's like, you do realize like these casters and analysts take a lot of time and effort into looking up stats and everything to the players that are
Yep.
playing. And then if you're gonna tell them like they're saying things wrong, or like they don't know what they're talking about, they do know what they're talking about. It's just like, it's like, you guys don't understand. They're putting so much effort into this. They put in a whole week before it comes up and just get up all the stats, look up everything and try to memorize those too. It's like, you know, they're trying to like memorize like different numbers and stuff. And it's just like, I mean, like, how can the chat know anything about it? If they knew about it, they should be up there as a caster as well, or
Right.
something.
Yeah. I think Fuji said that if you can do better, apply. Super Evil
Exactly, just
Megacorp
apply. Like,
they always want more people. Like we have we have about 10, I think, casters and analysts that we tend to see all the time, and sometimes they get sick or can't do it. And there's also other tournaments like the VIS or the EZL that need casters, that need people. uh, Go apply, try it out, see if you like it and can do a better job. If not, uh, like, let them do their thing. But everyone in Vainglory knows how to play this game better than the person playing and talking about it. Like, just on streams, people always chime in with like, "You should have built this," or "Why didn't you build that?" Or any of the videos I post, "That build didn't work. You should have did this." It's like, it doesn't matter. Like,
I mean, it's a chat. It's like, it's basically the internet. Apparently, everyone they have their own opinion. So it's like, if you like, but at the same time, it's like, you know, don't go on and say that you can do better than them if you don't show why you're better than them.
yeah,
Or you can say like, oh yeah, I'm better than this caster, blah blah blah. Prove it. Just go out there and prove it. If you can do it, then go for it. If you can't, then just just stay by your computer and sit there and just keep typing away.
yeah. Uh,
I mean,
well,
I know that when I used to play fighting games, they would
yeah.
say like they call the trolls in the chat like keyboard warriors. So that's why I'm like, you guys are just being keyboard warriors if you're gonna keep saying that you're better than the casters. So that's how I think like the chat is most of the time.
Yeah, sure.
So it's like,
Uh, But if you didn't see Fuji's video, there's a link in the notes. Like, it's worth checking out especially if you watch the esports games at all. Like, and I'm sure we've all had opinions on it. So nice to hear someone like Fuji kind of talk through it. So that does it for all the news. But before we get out of here, got a little forum static topic.
Forum static.
On the forums, this topic's pretty good because you kind of talked about how you found people through Line and now on Discord, but the topic was about finding teams and really just finding players in general. I think a lot of us who play this game now, after 2 years or more for many people, you just kind of know people and you forget that what if I found the game today and I get in here, I just want, like, I don't know anyone. I don't know how to play with teammates. I don't know where to find people. And this is what this forum topic was about, just finding players. And I think a lot of people jumped in with good suggestions, like, post here on the forums, joining guilds, things like the line chats. They're still there, band and Discord. Like, if you can jump into one of those, any of them, like even last week we talked about the barracks, that's a great place to learn and meet players to play with. But yeah, it's gotta be tough jumping into any MOBA kind of like this and be like, I don't have any I don't have any friends that play it, but I want some people to play with because I may be learning and I just kind of want to have some fun. Yeah, but you said you kind of went through the same thing when you first joined because you were at PAX and then you kind of had to find people, right?
Yeah. It was like I was browsing through the forums most of the time. I would just like look at the general chat, and then there's like the fan art chat, and then I remember I was looking more for a guild because I was like, oh, I want to look for like, it's like a guild that I can like interact with people and play some matches with them and stuff. And it was funny too because the moment I joined one guild, I actually got into like a mini tournament that they had, the ESL tournament, the Europe one.
Cool.
So like they were like, yeah, let's go in, let's just do it. And I'm like, oh, I mean, so quick. I mean, we've just known each other. Like, we just want to just join a tournament that randomly. He's like, yeah, why not? I'm like, okay, I mean, sure, why not? But I feel like for teams now, if they want, like, if it's like anyone who's like, especially for higher tier, it's like really hard to find like a group of people that you want to like just rank with and grow synergy with.
Right.
Because most of the time, a lot of people just solo queue. I mean, sure, they find like 2 teammates that they can like play with and grow synergy with them. But I feel like for someone who like wants to just like look around instead of just like on the app, I feel like they should like make like, so I mean, maybe someone in the community might do like finding a team like app for Vainglory.
Oh, okay.
And just like have people add their teams, and then from there they can say like, oh, we play at a certain time and stuff like that.
We need a jungler. We're missing this role. We play at this time. Yeah, that could be an interesting site, or another aspect of a Discord server, like looking for team kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
so
almost
it
like classified ads.
Yeah. So like with that, they like, maybe someone in the community might make that team app, and then it'll just hint all those things like that we just mentioned, you and I mentioned, and then from there, it's like maybe that way they can find the person can find like their team to like rank with, and then just climb the ladder together like that.
Yeah. But I think if you're a new player and you're looking for a team or friends to play with, I think Discord right now for Vainglory is probably the best place to start. And
that's true.
There's so many Discord servers. It's crazy. There's like a new one every week. And it's probably just I think the most active place for the Vainglory community at the moment.
It definitely check out Discord, like especially the what was it, Vainglory Barracks?
Yeah, the barracks. We had talked about that last week.
It's definitely a good place to like read up on like build orders, jungle. Like they have different categories for each one,
Yeah.
and I think it's pretty interesting that they actually have this.
Oh, so yeah. And then if you have any thoughts to help this person that asked, the link in the notes, go on the forums and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to do it for 149 Bloodskies. Thanks for joining me. This was great.
Yeah, this was really great. Thank you for having me, man.
Where can people find your stream? And you're also doing a fun event on it as well, right?
Yes. Well, my stream is twitch.tv/Bloodskies. I usually stream Monday to Friday. Well, actually Monday to Sunday.
Okay.
From 9 p.m. Eastern to 1 a.m. Eastern. Sometimes I go a little bit more, depending on how the stream goes. If I have like a lot of viewer matches going on, I just keep on going with it. If I'm ranking and if I feel good in the ranked match, I'm like, all right, let's keep on going. Let's keep on going.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's usually my stream time. Depending on, I usually change it up the middle of the week. I usually stream a little bit earlier compared to other days, but it all depends on what I'm doing during the week. But
Okay.
yeah, that's my stream schedule. I'm also doing
Charms event,
Charms
right?
event. Yeah, so I believe on I think it was the 5th that I'm doing it next week. The 5th at like 1 p.m. Eastern.
Nice.
10 a.m. No, wait.
Pacific, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I lost track right there. 10 a.m. PST. I will be doing a Charms event where we play a viewers match. It would be blind, draft, or blitz or battle royale.
Okay.
And then you just tweet at me and at Vainglory with like hashtag Charms event, Vainglory Charms event, I believe. And then you just post the GIF of one of the charms that I post on my Discord, and you can just go on from there.
Nice, and you can win mystery keys, right? You win. What do you win? Ice or mystery keys?
Yes, you're gonna be winning keys, epic keys.
Okay, epic keys. Nice.
If you win against I don't remember.
All right, but yeah, so be there for the stream, win some mystery keys. I know a lot of other streamers are doing these events too, so keep an eye out for it. It's a good way to win some free stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's it. 149. You can follow Shatter the Vain on Twitter at Shatter the Vain. Website shatterthevain.com. All the episodes get posted there. Links to iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube. And I'll be back with episode 150 next week. I don't know if I'm going to do something special for 150. Maybe I should plan that. But yeah, be back next week, and we'll see how update 2.3 has been treating us. All right, take care.
Let's get this over with.